Hello there YouTube, thanks very much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker and it's vlog time. I've not prepared this at all, but I realised that I've not done a vlog recently. I haven't done as many product reviews in between vlogs as I'd like, but you know, unfortunately things do happen. Anyway, I just want to keep you up to speed with what I've been up to and what's been going on, what's come in and all that sort of good stuff. I'm currently in the middle of exporting my review for the Asmodus Kodama Ohmsme, or Ohmsme and Kodama, which is getting a very favourable review because I think it's really, really good. And the price on this, we're just jumping straight into it, by the way, just in case you hadn't noticed. Hopefully it's not going to be a too long one because I haven't prepared. But anyway, let's jump in. Ow. So what's been happening with this one is I've been reviewing the piss, or I've been testing the piss out of the pink one that I had that I showed you guys a little while ago. Had a little bit of an issue with the fire button, so they sent this one out. Obviously it works all exactly the same. And I've been testing this one for a fair little while now. And yeah, so I wanted to get the review out of this. At 175 quid for a hybrid device, it's a fair chunky change, to be fair, but having said that, people are spending crazy money on the, what are they, the M17 and the M17 Mini? The M17 Mini, that's the 18650 one, isn't it? The Axis Mods one. And so, you know, when you compare the two, $175 or 175 quid for this, but $185 doesn't seem to be that bad. Plus the form factor on this I think is absolutely superb. It works like a little trooper, and if you're a lower wattage vapor or you're using tanks a lot and all that sort of jazz, I think this works really, really well. Not a massive cloud chucker, but I'm at 44.4 watts on there at the moment on a 0.25 coil or a 0.2 coil, and I'm more than happy with that. Anyway, what else has been going on? Do you know what? I haven't even got the old How's Your Father up for what videos I've done recently. I should probably do that. I know it's all good to sort of fly by the seat of your pants and all that sort of malarkey, but on occasions you do have to have just a clue on what the fuck you're talking about. Apparently that's expected. Right then, so since the last vlog, which was only on the 17th, we've done the charity raffle in aid of the Lear Wilby Foundation, and that is going so well. Thank you ever so much for everybody that's got involved with that bad boy so far. I originally said about a target of 500, secretly hoping that we'd go past there, but we're really close to doubling it now, which I think is fantastic. We've still got a little way to go to the end of the month before I do the draw, and yeah, I mean, I think we're like 40 or 50 quid away from hitting the £1,000 mark, which is crazy. It's like the running costs for the caravan and everything for like a sixth of the year, you know, so we've still got a way to go, but I just know it's going to be super helpful to the charity. So thank you again so much for being part of that raffle and contributing, if you really have so far. After that, we did the Oculus C review from Joytech. Funny old thing, everyone said that it was just kind of a techno cuboid. I never had the cuboid, so I couldn't kind of make that comparison, but yeah, I mean, it certainly seems that a lot of people are saying that it's just kind of like a chunkier version of the cuboid. So, you know, that's one of those things. It's a shame, and I still believe that if we had smartwatch capability, so you could get push notifications for your phone and all that sort of stuff, there'd be value in having that much tech on the screen. But as it isn't, it's not really that clever, to be honest with you. Otherwise, apart from that, I did the macro pictures on a mobile phone video purely because a lot of people do ask me about it. And I thought, well, I may as well do a quick video. Quick video, he says. And yeah, it took fucking forever to film. But it seems to have gone down really, really well. I've had over 4,000 views on it in a couple of 3 days. So that's bonkers. So thank you very much for all the nice comments as well, if you've commented on that. And a few people have tagged me on Instagram pictures where they've used some of the ideas that I suggested, and it looks like it has helped people, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm glad some people are enjoying it. That was it for the videos that I've done. So then let's move on to drum roll. What's coming? Because I haven't got a list, this could go wrong. I may forget stuff, but we'll see how we get on. So what we've got is the Koff, K-O-F, King of Flavour, I think it stands for, from Hop and Vape, and that's this little 2mm sort of Jenny style tank that we've got up here. Little single coil affair, which is reasonable enough. I can't really do this. Oh, there we go. Got a little single cord going on there, and this little bung thing going on here is that you can take it off and fill up your tank. So filling up the tank is nice and easy. The air hole goes through. You've got a little hole going on that side, and you've got an air hole coming through that side as well. So yeah, you've got two forms of air plus air that comes up underneath the coil as well. So you've got a pretty reasonable amount of airflow. This is certainly not in any way, shape or form designed to be a mouth to lung tank. Nice and cloudy. I mean, this is at 44.4 watts as well. Slightly different. I've got a stapled Clapton in here at the moment, which seems to be putting out nicely. Now I've taken the top airflow out altogether, and by doing that you do get a better flavour, but still, yeah, I mean, I think the tank is a nice little tank. I think it does lose out a little bit on the flavour though, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, that's a thing, but we've got plenty more testing of that to do, although I think I've had it for about a week maybe. So I've put a few different coils in there so far, and yeah, it seems to be, it works and it's not bad. It's just whether it's as good as it could be or not, that's something altogether different. Now then, what else have we got? I think I showed you the little Tesla things in the last vlog, which was this Tesla for the IO from those guys. Have I got any battery in it? Yes, I have. Let's have a little vape, shall we? Now, I think like I said, I think in the previous vlog, the form factor on this is absolutely superb. I really do like it. I like Tesla boards generally anyway, and so it's quite pleasant. What does let this down massively, in my opinion, is the coil. The coil is very similar to what we've seen in the Arami something or other, which is just basically just a massive coil that's about that long, where it's all no resistance wire apart from the very top section, which is the resistance bit. But I think you lose a hell of a lot of flavour on there, which is a pain in the arse. I'm just starting to upload my Ohmsmium review. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. But no, with this bad boy, I do think that, can I do two things at once? Oh, we'll see. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. With this one, I do think that you do lose just a lot of flavour, which is very unfortunate. But I do have a little bit more testing to do on that before we do the review. Now then, the other thing that I'd mentioned in the previous review, am I going a bit too quick again today? Am I? Sorry if I am. I don't want this to be a really long vlog for you guys. You know, I know some of you like the long ones, but also I'll tell you all about stuff in a minute. This is the Terminator, which is the kind of unregulated 18650 that's got no variable wattage, no variable voltage, and all that sort of stuff. All this does is it feeds off the battery itself. Let me just get some juice on this bad boy. And so yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be hugely dependent on what kind of coil you put in here. I think I've got about a 0.18 just dual coil round wire build in here at the moment with 24 gauge, and it's performing nicely. Let's have a little toot on here, shall we? As long as I've got plenty of battery left. Where's the light? There we go. And it's pleasant enough. It's a nice little setup. It really is. It comes with this little Ant-Man RDA, which is just a dual post velocity style deck, airflow underneath, plus where this little smiley thing is, you do have three tiny little air holes that will feed air above your coil, so it's kind of pointless, to be honest with you. But as far as it goes, it's got the spitback guard down there as well that you may or may not be able to see. But and that really bores my piss, because that can't be unscrewed, and it means you can't drip down the middle of your drip tip, which is a bit of a pain in the dick, to be honest with you. So we've got the airflow coming in from underneath. It's a nice quiet little tank, not tank, RDA even. And the flavour on it is not bad either. But yeah, I mean, I still think the unregulated little mods, you either like them or you don't. Obviously, it's going to be hugely dependent on if you can build, because you do, in my opinion, need to be able to build to accommodate this. So it's kind of like working with a mech without the concerns of having to work with a mech and having sort of all the relevant safety issues going, or the safety, can't talk. Safety things put into place on something like that. So you do have that as an option. But I've been having a pleasant little vape on it, to be fair. Not bad. Not bad. Not terrible. But it's been alright. What else? What else have we had in? I haven't, not new in. I've got a couple of things to show you that are new. But the Aromamizer Plus, which isn't in focus, there it is. Been still banging through that one quite a lot. There's a nice big hair going on the side of that one there. Is it a beard hair? Quite possibly. Let's have a little toot on there at a cheeky 111 watts. That was my goon cap coming out on that a little bit. I didn't have that pressed down enough. Oh, an idiot. Should we have another go? Yeah, I meant that to go over the camera. That's some heavy vapour coming out of that bad boy. Now, yeah, I mean, it performs really, really well. I must admit, I do prefer the look of it with the 5mm tank as opposed to the 10mm. Where have I put the 10mm? Where have I even got the 10mm upstairs? Probably not. That would mean being prepared. No, don't know. But yeah, I like the look of it with a 5mm tank on it. I think it looks quite dope, as the kids say. I think it looks quite cool. So yeah, I'm happy with that, to be honest, and it does perform like a beast. It really, really does. Now then, exciting stuff. We've gone on the hype train a little bit, and we've also got something that is kind of that I'm quite excited about showing you. I think I'm one of the first few reviewers to get hold of this. Now, because of the time, I'm going to turn the camera off and turn the camera back on again. Be right back. And there we go. That's that off and on again. Sounds on again. Everyone's a winner. Great stuff. Okay then. So the one that I'm excited to show you about. Show you? Is that even English? Is that the one I'm really excited to show you? Is this one right here. Now this is the Crichton. The Crichton is from Cyclone Mods, the guys that brought us the Hadley. So obviously their fantastic work with the Hadley meant that this is definitely going to be an RDA that's going to get a lot of focus put on it. Now I think I'm one of the few reviewers to have this so far, like I said, and I have had it for a little while now, so I've been able to put a few builds in here and do some fun stuff with. The deck is a little bit different to anything that's out there at the moment, but at the moment I have got these dirty great big coils in here at the moment, which are massive wick coverage, and there's just no issues with getting those in there whatsoever. Let's have a little vape on this bad boy. 99.9 watts. Clouds for days. Obviously it's a dual coil affair. This is a cloudy beast rather than the more kind of flavour focused Hadley. I think it looks a funky little job. It's a 24mm, so it's nice and squat. Yeah, the review on this is very, very soon. So yeah, I do want to make sure that I'm gonna keep you hanging on that one before I go too much into that one. Now then, jumping on the hype train, I bought an RDA and I bought the Goon LP. Now that's an exciting one. Yes. Now, is it all it's kind of lived up to be, or does it qualify for all the hype that it's had? Shall we wait for this to turn on? While this is turning on, and I'm going in the right mode, let me tell you a little bit. Okay, so the first thing on this is building on it, in my opinion, is a twat. It's if you get the right coil on, at the right size, at the right everything else, then fine and dandy. If you want something that's got kind of variation, you can put a whole bunch of different things in it, then I don't think this is really the RDA for you. Now, this is focused massively. I'm just putting some juice on. I can only use one hand to do that with. So you can only use a pretty small amount of deck space that's available to you, hence only sort of certain coils in there. I've managed to squeeze in some 3mm jobbies in there at the moment, but they're going to be coming out pretty damn sharpish and go down at 2.5mm, because the way the deck is with one of these is you've got kind of the post system. You've got a center thing, and then you've got the clamps on the side rather than on the top. This just does eat into your deck space, something chronic. Not only that, but also you have to have the coils up high enough to be able to get the airflow to go kind of on the sort of the bottom half of them. In order for that to happen, you're kind of playing a little bit of a gamble game as to whether you're getting it too high, because underneath the cap, I don't know whether we're going to be able to see that, is a really nicely machined kind of belled out section, which is lovely made, but it interrupts your coil. So they've gone for this kind of real short, squatty kind of affair, but it's just made it harder to build on. So yeah, I will review it. But so far, it's certainly not one of the RDAs that I'll be hanging on to for a long period of time. And also, even though we've got some nice big air holes on the side there, because your coil is right butt up against them, that kind of, it really does restrict that airflow. So you've got this honking great big chuff style cap on the top, which you're not really taking advantage of, in my opinion. Now, like I say, I will be putting more builds in there, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Goon LP lovers that will be calling me all sorts of names at the moment, and I apologise for that, but like I say, I will be doing more builds on. All I can go on is my first impression so far, which has not been favourable. The Crichton, on the other hand, has been very favourable. Now then, on top of that, juice-wise, I've had some juice come in, which is a massive thank you to Vapetasia over in Vegas and old Raylo Vapes for sending these over. I've talked to you before about Royalty 2, which is from Vapetasia, which I just think is fucking gorgeous. I really do. That's 2 days worth of vaping that already, and most of that is just from dripping rather than putting in any tanks. I put a little bit in my Wotofo Alto for the Ohmsman review, but the rest of this has gone into just dripping, so I am powering through that like a son of a bitch, which has been nice. Now then, on top of that, they've also sent me through the Hooch line, which is the new set of flavours from these guys. I'm not sure why my focus keeps going all wobbly, but there we go. Some interesting little flavours here. We've got cucumber pear mojito, mango strawberry daiquiri, and rum horchata, which is quite an interesting little affair. So I haven't got into those. I haven't tried those yet, so we're going to be getting some of those. And they also sent me the new line called Goodies even. Come on, you bugger, focus, damn it, you put my hand up here. Which is kind of funky, and some interesting little flavours going on here as well. Pistachio gelato, apple strudel, and lemon cheese bar. Which has been good. The apple strudel, I've just put in something and can't feel like, oh, I've just put it in my cough. So that's in there, and the pistachio gelato, I've been vaping a little bit of so far today, and that's rather nice as well. But no, the old Royalty 2, if you see this in your local vape shop, I strongly admit or suggest going and buy it. Can't remember what the flavour profile is, but I'm pretty sure it's not what I taste, but whatever it is I taste, I think it's fucking gorgeous. So yes, right, that's that. Sorry for hitting the my ring on the desk, misses. Apologies, headphone users, if you're now deaf. Where have I been? Why haven't I put out as many videos? Had a little bit of the old health thing has been going a little bit wobbly again. I've lost use of my right hand to some degree. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I can't do with that, which is a bit annoying. On lots and lots of drugs, and was in hospital all day yesterday for it and all that sort of good stuff. So yes, shit's happening on there, but you know, if you don't kill you, it makes you stronger, doesn't it? I did have an elephant leg for a little while, which was nice. Everything on my left leg from just above the knee down was like twice the size that it should have been, which is fun. So lots of needles and stuff going on in there. So that's where I've been. I've been a little bit kind of, I've been a little bit held up on the reviews for that. So I am trying to power through. So please rest assured that that is happening. That's why I kind of did the how to take pictures of coils, because there wasn't really that much building involved. I didn't really have to do that much. And yeah, so yeah, if you're on my Instagram or on my Facebook page, you'll notice that this morning I was doing some nice big sort of 2.5 3 foot lengths of Clapton wire using the Daedalus, and now more than ever with my dodgy hand, it's something like that is just an absolute godsend to be able to make Claptons, because there is absolutely no way on this earth that I could hold a drill and fire a drill with my right hand at the moment. So yeah, things like that just make life so much easier, and you can just set it away on the desk and it does its own thing. So yes, now then, is there anything else to go into when it comes to new stuff or stuff that I should be telling you? I don't think so. Oh, I did mention about the Doge tank. I think I mentioned that on the last vlog, that both Herman Vapes and Evolution Vaping sent me through a Doge tank. Now I've been having a little play, but not very much at all on that at the moment. That will be getting through some serious testing over the next week or so. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So I had an email this morning that I thought I might include. What we got? 10 minutes coming up on this one. This one's from Big Dave, although Big Dave's did sign off as Slippy Tit Dave, which I thought was fun. Now then, essentially, Dave has been vaping for over a year now and wanted to branch out into mech mods. Been following my channel. Absolute class, I have to say. Thank you very much, Dave. Much appreciated. I buy pre-made coils for now. Anyway, I've been dripping on an avocado. Now, Dave has got his hands on a couple of mechs, and he says that they're a bit daunting and is not too sure about what he's going to start off with. Now, the couple of mechs that he's managed to get his hands on are 26650 VCM and a stacked, I think it's this stacked 26650 VCM as well, and quite rightly he's a little bit concerned about getting stuck into that for his first sort of mech mods, and he's just asking for a little bit of advice really. And so I do still get comments about kind of what mechs do I suggest for new users, and one of the mechs that I still suggest, particularly for a new user, is something like the broadside. We've got the extra safety benefits. Well, go back and watch the broadside video if you haven't seen it, because I mean I still use my broadside and I still think it's just a bang up mod. I think it hits like a train, and also is as safe as you can make a mech mod. Now then, there's obviously no regulation. There's nothing in there if you don't know what you're doing with coils. And so point number one for any mech user should always be to learn how to build your own coils. I don't think you should start mechs with getting pre-made coils. I think that's an absolute no-no. You should know how coils work. You should know the relevance with regards to resistance. You should kind of get an idea for building how to get to whatever resistance you're aiming for. And with that, as long as you're using a good battery, you've got a good handle on Ohm's law. I mean, with things like Steam Engine online, such a great bit of kit that I can't remember the name of the people that came up with it, but such a great and useful tool if you're thinking about building coils. And there's also a whole bunch of apps on you can get on the phone now. One that I've just started using is called Vape Tool. And the Vape Tool is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's just kind of just underneath my finger over there, and it's got just like a coil wrapped round on the logo for it. I think it's a really good tool, and you can save your favorite type of coils and stuff on it. But yeah, you must learn how to build your own coils. You must know about Ohm's law and what resistances you can build, and you must also be fully up to speed on the right batteries to use for what you're intending them to do. And for that, if you type in battery mooch into Google, you'll go to Battery Mooch's ECF page, which has a whole bunch of recommendations. Definitely go and check that out. Also, go and check the video that I did with Mooch some time ago now. It's in the tutorial section on the playlists on my YouTube page, so go and check those out because they're absolutely essential to get the best experience from a mech. A mech isn't just a tool, just, you know, to blow big clouds and all that sort of stuff. A mech is it's got that primeval thing going on. You're using the basic power from the battery direct to your coil. It's hugely relevant to well, it's everything about how you build in your RDA. You can do it very, very safely, but you just have to learn stuff, and it's essential for that to happen. You don't kind of not learn how to drive a car and then just get into a Lambo and decide that you're going to try and tear it down the dual carriageway at 150 miles an hour. That doesn't work. You have to learn how to do things, and so anyone that picks up a mech with no idea and just bangs in pre-mades and goes, well, that's all right then, crack on, is doing it wrong, in my opinion. Now, at the same time, when I'm talking about this, there have been some prominent people in the UK advocacy scene at the moment. They're saying that like mech mods should be banned or really hard to get hold of, or this, that and the other, and shouldn't be available in shops. And that is just the biggest moronic bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. First of all, I think it's absolutely essential that mech mods are available in a B&M, because that B&M has the responsibility to explain to the purchaser what they're buying, and also test the purchaser to some degree that they know what they're doing. That doesn't happen online, and you can put a whole bunch of safety guards in place online, but if it's too hard, then someone will just go off to Fast Tech and all that sort of shit. So there does need to be that interaction with an individual in a vape shop. Just looked at the time. I'm going to turn the camera off and turn it back on again. So where was I saying? I was having a little bit of a rant. Yes, I do believe absolutely that that vape shops should have access to mech mods, because I think that you have to have that, be able to have that conversation with people. That absolutely has to happen. If you go into a vape shop and they don't know you and they don't check that kind of your criteria, if you like, then they are knobheads and you shouldn't deal with them. Simple as. If you are looking to go and buy one, don't get upset that somebody questions your knowledge and awareness of using mechanicals. It's essential, and it's to get the best for you, as well as making sure that the people that sell it to you know that you're going to go home and use it safely. So please, please, please do all of your background on something like this. Know your Ohm's law, know how to get the relevant information, know the difference in wires, learn how to build. And if you're using regulated mods, it's brilliant. You can try making a whole bunch of different builds. A lot of the time with a lot of these mods, they've got the full mechanical mode anyway, so you can test that kind of mechanical powering, if you like, but have a lot of the safety guards in place should you need them. And also make sure that you have a decent, good quality ohms reader. If you haven't got something like a DNA or an SX mod that you can check your resistance with, then go out and just spend an extra few quid on getting a decent ohm reader, because that is, it's absolutely key. If your ohm reader is 0.058, then you could be thinking you're doing a 0.2, when in fact it could be actually a 0.15, or vice versa, and that is obviously where things can go. You can get yourself into bother by doing that sort of stuff. So please, please, please be safe with them. Learn as much as you can with them. There's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, and I've done a coil building video on how to build coils. I will be doing more coil building relevant to mechs, relevant to other things when I have time. But there is a shit ton out there. Don't be just stressing out about hitting crazy low resistances and all that sort of stuff. You don't have to worry about that. If you're using something like a Samsung 25R battery or a Sony VTC5A, and you're building down to 0.2, then you're going to get a really good vape, especially if you're using a really great mod. Something like the Broadside will give you a really good vape on a 0.2 coil, and with a decent battery, then you're going to have a decent experience. The ohm reader, always use the ohm reader up front, purely because that is going to be able to tell you if you've got any shorts, if you've got anything going on that might not be there. And especially if you use things like Claptons, when you're snipping the legs off, it's really easy for a little tiny bit of that Clapton wire that you don't instantly notice to sort of fall off and make a connection between the positive post and the deck and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, just do it safely, people. You know, if you're not a moron, then you can have a brilliant experience with mechs. If you are a moron, then you're potentially liable to hurt yourself, but at the same time, you're never going to understand mechs. If you don't learn about them and you don't learn how to do the best with them, you're not going to have a great time with them. So don't bother. There you go. Oh, that was a bit ranty, wasn't it? Should we have a vape? Let's have a vape with this cough. Right. Now then, I think I've got that out of my system, but it just fucking winds me out. There was these people that I was mentioning who were talking about kind of, one guy was saying there's not really any difference between kind of authentics and clones and stuff, and there absolutely is. I mean, I don't really need to go into the whole clone versus authentic thing. I think most of you guys know that I generally will prefer authentics because to continually go down the clone route means you're stifling innovation, because people that make the stuff originally aren't getting the money that they deserve for their original products, and so that's going to stifle what they can produce in the long term. So there's going to be less and less to clone in the long term. So it actually shoots itself in the foot, but also you get a lot safer products, in my experience, for a lot of things. I've been in a shop and I've seen a mech mod that was a clone. I had a little look inside, and there was a bit of the swarf, a little bit of metal that had come out when they'd either been cutting the inside of the tube or when they'd been cutting the threads, and it was stuck between the 510 and the inside of the top cap of the tube, which, you know, if you'd have put a battery in there, that wouldn't have worked out well. And so, you know, yeah, personally, I would always suggest go for authentic. It's worth a little bit extra money. You don't have to go. I mean, the Broadside is a brilliant mod, don't get me wrong, but something like the Watofo Phantom was an amazing mech mod, and it looks the tits. I think I've still got mine here. You've got this funky little button thing going on. You can run this in hybrid, or you can run it in normal 510 pinned. So, you know, you don't have to, if you're using the normal 510, then you don't have to worry about having the elongated 510 on your tank. If you're using it in hybrid mode, the same with all hybrids, then you do have to make sure that you have got the extended 510 on the RDA or whatever you're going to use. But, I mean, I think those Watofo Phantoms, I think they come out at like 30 quid or something, which is cheap as piss. So absolutely worth it. And there's everything in between. So, yeah, go for authentic wherever you can, in my opinion. Do it safely, you'll have a great experience. So there we go. I thought the rant was over, wasn't quite over. Now then, is there anything else to tell you about? I don't think so. I think I've told you pretty much everything that I wanted to tell you between the two. I've been trying out different printers for hoodies and the like. And this printer, not quite so great. This is a double XL hoodie, and I think they went double XL on length and not necessarily girth. So I still need to find a decent DTG printer. So if you do work with a company that does direct to garment printing on one-offs, then please do let me know. You've got to be able to do big bad boy sizes though. None of this just for skinny lads lark. Vape mats, still being asked about the vape mats, still got them in. All you've got to do is go to vapemats.com, use the contact form, sell it, tell him that you want to buy one and you're in the UK, and then he'll sort that out, he'll let me know, and I'll send them off to you. So that's that. That's it. We're done. I think. Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, we bloody well are. How are you? You had a good week? How many of my subscribers are actually cloudies, and how many of you are taste? Put down below in the comments. Let me know how many of you like your cloud chasing, how many of you like your flavour chasing, and how many of you like a mix between the two, because I'm always interested to know, because I think I've got a fairly decent mix of the two of you, of the two types of, or three types of vapors really, and I think that's really cool. But please do let me know, and then I can make sure I'm keeping the content up relevant for you guys. Everything that I said I wanted to still review is still in the review queue. I'm still banging through as much as I can. Yes. Now I'm just wasting time. Right, on that note, thank you very much for watching. What should we end on? Let's end on the Crichton, shall we? Thank you very much for watching. I've been Dean the Vaping Biker. This has been a vlog at a random time of the week. Make sure you go out and have it very large.